Hello guys, and this is a series about project guide. I will make this video in series, and today is the first lesson that will talk about mainly the first competency, and the first competency is project planning. There are other series that will keep coming along the way which will be containing other competencies. So I will encourage you to subscribe so that you do not miss the notification when I post the next video. But before I begin, I want to put this disclaimer. One is that the theme used in this presentation is not from UNEV. It is a random sample I have picked in order to help give direction for this presentation. Also, this presentation is my personal opinion based on research and study I have made. Therefore, it should be used with reference to other relevant study materials. Some information presented here may be a little bit advanced, and so information synthesis is greatly encouraged. So with those three disclaimers, now let's dive into it. First, I'll quickly take you through the observation checklist that is provided by UNEV, and it looks like this. These particulars are supposed to be filled, and then my interest is going to start from the instruction to the facilitator. The observation checklist contains 4 competencies which must be assessed from Senior 3 to Senior 4, and the period of assessing has been broken down here. That project planning is for Senior 3 Term 1 to Term 2, then implementation is from Senior 3 Term 3 to Senior 4 Term 1, then report is Senior 4 Term 2, and then dissemination is Senior 4 Term 2. So you are supposed to indicate or tick accordingly. When we go down, you see, and then record the number of indicators observed. There are places where there is nothing that has been displayed or you're not ticking. So in such places you may indicate NA if the learner has not been assessed for a particular competence. Now, the first thing that is supposed to be put on this project checklist after filling up the particular of the student is the theme. Like I put it from the disclaimer, I have chosen a random theme, not from UNEV, but chosen to use it to guide in this project here. So under competency 1, which I'm talking about today, it is project planning, and then the first thing here is to identify a project. The learner is supposed to identify a project. So the learner identifies the project that reflects the problem the project intends to solve. How does the learner get to identify the project? The learner may decide to review literature. The learner may decide to consult peers, teachers, or other internal school community. And then the learner may also decide to consult external community members with the knowledge, experience, and interest in that area. So if the learner did one of these, then you check this accordingly. If the learner did all or 2 of this, you check this. I'm going to briefly show you using my sample how this can be identified whether the learner has done or not. So my sample is here, and I have 3 samples I'll show you probably in different videos. So for this video, I'm going to begin with the first sample. So the theme I'm using is environmental conservation is a concern for all. And then the competency, it is project planning, which is competency 1. And the first of the 3 project samples I'll take you through is this. So my title is Investigating the Impact of Plastic Bags on Local Wildlife. So this problem statement will help me answer the first, or score the first step there, identifying a project. And according to this, plastic bags are everywhere in our environment, and they are harming local wildlife. Many animals get entangled up in plastic bags. Some mistake them for food, whereas others get trapped inside them. And there is a reference here. Now that is evidence that the learner reviewed literature because of this reference here. So I can score that learner here for reviewing literature, because there is evidence he reviewed literature. And then this is a big problem because plastic bags don't break down easily and can stay in our environment for hundreds of years. We need to find out how plastic bags are affecting. So with this, we can see there is a problem that the learner has identified, and therefore there is need for a solution which now necessitates the project the learner is doing. But this research question will guide the steps. For example, what kind of wildlife are affected by plastic bags? How do plastic bags harm wildlife? What can we do to reduce the impact? So by solving or answering these questions, the learner would have done the project to answer these questions. And that caters for this first 1.1. Then when we go to develop a project title, the project title first, it should be related to the theme and then has acceptable number of words 7 to 25. So if you look at this, investigating the impact of plastic bags on wildlife, this is related to my theme, which theme is environmental conservation is a concern to all. But second, it is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 words, which is between 7 to 25. So the learner would qualify to earn this too. And then establish the purpose. The purpose one is the goal or the aim the project intends to achieve. So if you look at here, there is a purpose I put here. Our goal is to investigate how plastic bags affect local wildlife and to find ways to reduce the harm. And then also the purpose, which reflects the title and the theme, and this is directly connected to the title and the theme, because the title is the theme is environmental conservation, and the plastic bags affects this, so it is directly connected. And even the title, which is impact of plastic bag on wildlife, it's directly connected. So therefore the learner qualifies to get these two. Then develops objective. They should be SMART, that is specific, measurable, and etc. But also linked to the what? To the purpose, title, or theme. And if you look at these objectives, specifically learn about the impact of plastic bags on local animals, identify a common problem caused by plastic bags, develop practical solutions to reduce the use of plastic bags. 1. This can be measured. It is SMART. First, it is specific, impact of plastic bags. Second, you can measure by the time you reach that you do the project. This can be measured. Also, you can achieve it within the specific period of time. Which period of time is up to second term of senior 2. It can be achieved by a learner, and it is also realistic. So the learner, and moreover, it is also related to the theme or title. So the learner can qualify to get this. And then we can come to the point of justify here. So justify the project. The learner explains the reason for carrying out the project, or the benefit or the positive impact of the project, which is relevant to the theme, the title, and the purpose. Now let's look at this. Justification is either the reason or the positive impact or the benefit. Plastic bags are everywhere. We use them for grocery shopping, takeout, and even carrying out our lunch. But have you ever wondered what happens to them after we throw them away? Unfortunately, many plastic bags end up in our environment, harming local wildlife and polluting our planet. As students, we have the power to make a difference by investigating the impact of plastic bags on wildlife, so that we raise awareness about the issue, encourage the community to reduce plastic bag use, and find creative solutions to protect our environment. So first, the learner has identified the plastic bags are useful for human life. They are using the plastic bags for different reasons. but also has identified the problem caused by the plastic bag. And the learner is providing a proposal that there is something that can be done so that we both the wildlife which are affected by the plastic bag and the humans who need the plastic bags are not greatly affected. They all benefit. So that is the justification, and it is related to both the title, the theme, and even the purpose. So next is identify resources for the project. So the learner identify resources needed to carry out the project. He or she lists or identify the resources required, but also provide justification for the resources. So if you come to the resources here, one, the learner needs internet access, and the justification is for researching and gathering information on the impact of what it's going to do. Also survey material like pen, paper, and etc. The learner also needs camera to take photos. It is part of collecting data and can also be used during presentation. Now the learner intends to make awareness through poster, and therefore we do need a marker, a glue, and so on. Then time and support from teachers, classmates whom he can consult from. Then a local wildlife who will provide the valuable information and ensure that their findings are accurate. Then may also need school facilities as part of resources to access classroom, like access classroom, library, and others. So that is under this. So if he has listed and justified, can get both. And then develop a work plan. Now that work plan 1 should be relevant to the project activity, also should be logical, like that means the first should be first, then the second, that order, needs the timeline, the course, and person responsible. So in my sample, I've summarized using a table. The period is the week 1 to week 2, for instance. He will be doing the activity of research and planning, and there is no course. The person in charge is either that one student, or if they are in a team, the team members. Week 3 to 4 will do survey and distribution, and here I need some transport. Week 5 to 6 collects data and analysis, so here I can use the school computer to analyze, and the software in the computer, and done by the team member. Then week 7 to 8, that is 2 weeks, campaign poster is going to design and then create it, and it can cost him about 30,000. This is just an estimate because we need some material and also printing. And then these 2 weeks can be used to campaign, to implement the campaign, put them where they are supposed to be, and it can cost him this to move around, maybe, or put whatever it is necessary. So these are just costs that I've assumed them, so you can put them basing on what you're seeing. And then the other thing is integrating knowledge. So in the process there are some subject knowledge that can be integrated. For example, English while writing a report, ICT, typing, maybe analyzing data, need math. Since they are talking about environment, it could be part of geography. We are still talking about environment, and then wildlife can be biology and many others. So you tick basing on the subject that you've seen, or basing on what you have seen has been integrated. If the learner maybe consulted the locals and they were speaking in local dialect and he has reflected there, you tick basing on what you're seeing. And then cross-cutting issues is about environmental awareness, health awareness, mixability. So I have just a sample here. For example, environmental awareness, the learner is investigating the effects of plastic bags on local wildlife. So he's showing that he's aware of what is happening in his environment. Health awareness, exploring health risks associated with plastic bags like ingestion, entanglement, and so on. Mixed abilities and involvement encourages teamwork and collaborating with other students to get that. Then socio-economic awareness, examining the economic impact of these plastic bags and so on. Citizenship, the learner is taking responsibility and ownership of the problem. So it shows he has love for his country and that is about patriotism. So accordingly, what you see, you tick it and then you put it here. Then demonstrate generic skills. The generic skills can be critical thinking. So did the learner plan and carry out investigation, or he just sat down and went to the internet and did everything without going to plan and carry out the investigation? If he did, here, sort and analyze information, identify problem, and so on and so forth. So this one you just follow basing on the presentation the learner and what you have seen the learner do, then you tick it and then record the number you have ticked here in the boxes accordingly, and then finally total it here. And after doing that, now that is it for the project, and then for competency 1, which was planning. So if you look at here, I put some references as evidence that there was literature review. Some part of references here and some were up. So this is evidence that there was literature review. So that is it, or this is it about competency 1, which is project planning. But this is not all of it. I've just shown you one sample of the project. I'll make a video of another sample of at least 2 more sample projects or project planning practical, and then we see. And after that, we can now go to competency 2. So thank you for watching this video. Don't miss the next video. Subscribe to this and hit the notification bell so that you do not miss the notification when the next video is posted.